Grace and mercy, and welcome back to Angelic Prophecies with Michael, Pastor Michael Stewart of Point of Light Church. Excuse my appearance right now, brothers and sisters, but I just jumped out of the shower, but I had some things I needed to say to you, so I decided I was just going to come on and just say what I need to say real quick to you. A couple of little things I want to say. The title of this is Racism Does Not Exist. It is Disparages Against Nationalities. We're all one race, people, human race. So there's not a difference. Now, if you're upset with a different species or race, then you should be out there getting upset with cats and dogs and horses and cows, because that's a different species or considered race. We're all humans because our skin tone may be different, but our basic chemical makeup is the same. See, a horse and a giraffe can't make a horse giraffe, whatever that is, horse giraffe. I coined that right now, horse giraffe at 9:37 on March 23rd. Horse giraffe. Okay, you can't make a horse giraffe. You can't make a cow elephant. A cow and an elephant can't make another species. But two humans of different colors or hues, skin tones can. So why are you against it? Oh, it's deep. The rabbit hole goes deep, brothers and sisters. See, it's been written in the Bible for years, decades. This is why the Tower of Babel came apart and came to be a part of history, is because it was different nationalities. And that only came about after the Tower of Babel. Before, it was nations against nations. You were either Egyptian or you were Judean or you were Senecals, okay, from Seneca, which would be Africa, somewhere like that. Okay, it wasn't any Europeans. This is something they put together later on in life. But you were tribal. That's what it was. That's the nations. Okay, tribal nations. But look at what they're doing. They changed it to fit their own negative narrative. And look what's happening to people over negativity. The only reason slavery took place is because the Chazians, Chazians, the Chazians of that time, who grew to be modern day Jewish European people, changed all of the history of the Bible, along with the corrupt and crooked Catholics who wanted to say these things are acceptable, but we don't want you to know the whole truth, because you'll know that the fact of these people who wanted to be in power and control decided to use one verse, 7-word verse, to justify slavery and racism. Hatred. It's not racism, it's hatred of another nation. It's the conquering of another nation. It's the demeaning and degradation of another nation. That's what they wanted to do. This is why they don't want to pay reparations, because they know their history. And there's no real reparations to be paid. A brother can't pay his brother for doing something wrong or saying something wrong about his brother. There's no payment for that. But I'll get into that next. I just want y'all to know, stop saying racism. It's nation against nation. If you are a melanated nation that is against your fair-skinned Caucasian European nation, then that's what it is. It's not color, it's not people against people, but people are so quick to be led astray by ignorance and think that ignorance is truth. Look at the ignorance that's going on in politics right now that's causing racial divide, national divides. See, sometimes they'll say it right. It's a divide of the nation, because we're not racist. It's nowhere in the Bible that God created a different race from another race that made this one more superior than that one. No, the reason why the melanated people have been really persecuted for years is because of that one 7-word verse out of the Bible that tells you about how Moses went to the king and said, "Let my people go, for they shall not be in bondage and enslaved any longer." And then they started thinking about it. Who's going to cut our grass? Who's going to wash our clothes? Who's going to cook for us? Who's going to do all these things that we're too lazy to get up off our rear ends and do it ourselves? So they did this years ago. I've said this time after time again, and I know YouTube is not going to let me get enough viewership in order for it to get out there. So if you get a chance and opportunity to get this, understand two things that always come from this channel: the truth and no begging. I don't need your money, nor do I want your money. Okay? Keep your money to do what you need to do to take care of you and yours. Now, you can't get to salvation by paying your way. So when you pay these content creators, to hear their words, you're paying for salvation. So I just want you to know, everybody who has given a content creator a penny, you're not going to heaven. Your soul has not been saved. You have no true salvation, and you're still a lost sheep. You're still part of the 2/3. I don't care if I promoted a person before or not. I've listened to them. I've studied them. I know the truth behind them because of who I am, spiritually and physically. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, that don't continue to do that, because you are lost. You are wayward, and you are not getting into heaven unless you have the mindset of discernment. You listen to the programs, but yet still you pray to God yourself in your own manner and your own way, so you can get to salvation on your own. You can't get there for your parents, your grandparents, your kids. You can't get there like that. You have to do it on your own. You have to have your own relationship. And that relationship, that if you are a child of God, the Most High God, you do not have that fragment of a bone in your DNA, in your spirit, or in your soul to have hatred against another one of God's children. But I digress. Yet and still, brothers and sisters, like I say all the time, may the Lord bless the readers and doers of his word. May the Lord keep you in the confines of his wings, in the palm of his hands. And until next time, brothers and sisters, just understand, it's nation against nation. It's no races. We're all one race, human. And none of us are more superior than the other. And as long as you understand that, you will have a clear understanding of life. Until I see you in a few minutes, God bless you all.